Welcome to the Guitar of Consciousness. That was my new song called Don't Jump. Thank you for tuning into my video. I'll be talking about tools and questions of access consciousness. And that's what this series is about. It's about the tools and questions of access consciousness. And you're thinking, why is he talking about access? Well, access changed my life. If it wasn't for access, I wouldn't have a music career like the one I have now. If it wasn't for access, I wouldn't be enjoying my life. If it wasn't for access, I wouldn't have communion of everything, everyone and everything. To start having communion in your life. Access is about ease and joy and glory. The mantra of access, ease and joy and glory. When I first saw that, I'm like, whoa, where out there tells you you can have ease, joy and glory in your life? Where? There isn't. So that's why I kept choosing it. I saw there was a different possibility. Co-creator, Dr. Dane here. I watched his videos on YouTube, just as like these videos. He had videos of being out in nature, filming, and I watched his videos after another, one after another, one after another. And the way he spoke, the way he did stuff, the way he was being was different. I've never actually experienced something like that before. The way he was being. And I'm like, whoa, I've got to know what he's doing. So I kept going. I kept watching more of his videos. I kept more and more and more. And what happened to my life? I found that it was actually changing. My life was changing just by watching his videos. So then, by me actually acknowledging, whoa, his videos are changing my life. It might have been only a little minuscule, but it was something. It was something different for me. So I kept going. And that contributed to me keep going more and more and more. I kept watching more videos. And finally I got to a part where, all right, my life's actually starting to change. I'm actually going to learn to know what Access is about. So I went to classes. I went to my first Access bars class. And what Access bars is, it's a body process. It's a first body process of Access. 32 points on the head. You lay down on a massage table. You have a facilitator, and they run your bars. I love the name, Access bars. It's not what you think. It's not what you think it means. It's bars because there's points here and here, and there's like bars, energetic bars through your head. So that's why it's called the bars. Don't worry, we're not getting drunk and we're drinking bars doing that types of stuff. It's not like that. It can be. It's all your choice. Though the more Access I do, the more happiness I have, the more joy I have. So I kept watching more and more videos. I kept learning more and more what Access is about, because my life was I actually started enjoying my life. I was waking up in the morning actually enjoying it. Not totally, kabam, and it's, you know, from down here, you're up here. It wasn't like that. It was slowly, it went up and up and up and up. And because it was keep going up and up and up, I kept going with it, you know? It's not like, oh, it's a fairy tale, oh, that doesn't work. Though for me, I saw the little details of how my life was getting greater. And that's why I kept going and kept going and kept going. This is episode, I think, 22 of my Guitar of Consciousness tour videos. And you can see from the first one till now. So, and the first one was a few years ago, so have a look at that and see how it's transformed my life. You can watch Dr. Dane his videos and see how it's transformed his life. In every video, he came up with a new tool and process of Access consciousness that contributed to my life in that situation, in that type where I was in my head. You know, Access is about getting you out of your head. If you're a thinker, if this brain keeps spinning around and you don't know what's going on, well, maybe Access is for you. Maybe Access is for you, my friend. You know? So the more Access you do, it gets rid of this fella in here. And that's a good thing. You know, for me it was. Depends if it's for you. Though I know Access has transformed and changed thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of people's lives worldwide. And you can see they talk their stories and stuff, how it's transformed their life, how it's transformed my life, how it's transformed Dr. Dane his life. And maybe that's for you. That's a path you can take. So by me telling you what Access is about doing these videos, I'm inviting you, my friend, to a new possibility. Like being out in nature, you know? Like it's uncomfortable doing this, what I do. It's uncomfortable. You know, don't think that I'm out here, it's easy. You know, with the tools and questions of Access, what it does, allows you to keep going. When an obstacle throws itself at you, what do? I use a tool from Access. When another obstacle comes my way, what do? Use another tool from Access. You know, whatever comes at me, I go around it. I go around it. I don't go through it and trying to shove my way through it. What's that going to do when you do that? That's where confrontation shows up. When frustrations show up. When you go to thoughts, feelings, emotions around all that. The anger, the rage, the fury and hate. That's how I lived my life before Access. Before all of this stuff. So going around that stuff, you know, it's a lot easier not having to confront it, having to hit it head on. When you hit it head on, that's when disaster shows up. So if you like to get around disaster, how Dr. Dane here showed me how to get around disaster, I can show you. You know, you can choose a different possibility. Go around. Go around is a lot easier than having to go push your way through. So for me, filming, yes, it is uncomfortable, though with the tools and questions of access, what they provide for you, allows you to go around. It's not saying, oh, he's going around, it's a longer path. It's not a longer path, because when you go a little bit around, if you go forward, you're going to be stopped here. By the time you go a little bit extra here, you're already past this spot. This is already in front, and you're back here. I'm up here. Would you like to be up here with me? And Dr. Dane here, and Gary Douglas, founder of Access, and all the other facilitators, or would you like to be back here? So, you know, that's an example for you, what Access can provide for you. You can use that tool. All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. And the way you use that tool, it's easy. What that does, that allows this guy to go away. This, whatever's in there. By you saying that, just say one of you musicians out there, or anyone else. You're going for a job interview. You start a new relationship, or you're doing something. If you want your nerves to go away, if you want the uncomfortableness to go away, for you actually to go forward without having to get in that confrontation, ask yourself, all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. Say it until your mind does go away. On the way here, it took about an hour to get here from my place. What did I do? I said, all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory, pretty much half the way here. So it's not saying that I'm at this stage now, I don't have to use any tools of access. No, I still use them. The more you use the tools of access, the more your life gets greater. So on the way here, I just said out loud in the car, all of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. All of life comes to me with ease and joy and glory. And that allowed this fella to go away. Allowed my mind to disappear, you know. If you think that you have to have your thoughts, you have to have all that in there to film like this, no. I was complete, all of life comes to me, ease and joy and glory on the way here. So I didn't have to plan out what I'm going to say. It's not about having to plan things out. Access consciousness is about doing the opposite. So the more you plan stuff out, the more it's going to create disaster. Like the more I plan out my Guitar of Conscious videos, what happens? Disaster occurs. So I didn't plan where this spot was going to be. I just knew about there was a waterfall out this area. And so we went. It was a bit cloudy. We got the crew to set up the lights. You know, so I didn't plan. I just said, like, we're doing it this day, let's do it. Actually, I planned it out. It was in the morning. I'm like, let's film today. So it wasn't, I didn't plan it out weeks before, or this and that, or days before. I'm like, I woke up, I'm like, all right, I'm going with the energy. The more you do access, you go with the energy. So I went with the energy. The energy felt light for me to film today. So I went out. I went out, got in my car, did the all of life comes to me, ease and joy and glory. Or even before the car, I would ask myself, anytime I went to frantic, anytime I went to that frustration or that uncomfortableness, I just said, all of life comes to me, ease and joy and glory. All of life comes to me, ease and joy and glory. And if you're around people, say it in your head. You don't have to say it out loud. When you can say it out loud, it is a little bit more dynamic, though it still works phenomenally saying it in your head, almost just as much. Okay, so say that. that's what it's contributed to me. We're filming today, we're speaking, this and that, and having communion with my crew. So, and remember, access isn't about everything's fairy tale land. It's nothing to do with that. I still get all that stuff coming up, though I know what tool to use in certain situations to keep going. And yeah, like if you have any comments, guys, leave them in the comments in the description to tell me how I can assist with you, contribute to you. And also, I have online events. I have online events every month, and they're advertised through my Guitar of Consciousness website, my Facebook page, and stuff like that, and my YouTube channel. I do videos on my online events, and they're online Zoom call. They're briefly about an hour. You can come on, I can meet you, I can see you, and you can ask your questions, and that's where we go deep into the stuff where you can really unlock your capacities. This is just a taster of what Access Consciousness is about. We can go deep, deep, deep and really get to you, to unlock your capacities, to be able to, for you, to be able to use energy. You can speak to the energy. So I can show you how to speak to energy. I can show you how you can use energy to your advantage. And all that stuff is in my online Zooms. So that's my invitation to you. And that's like Dr. Dane here. I went to his classes. I went to go see him live. Whenever he's in the country and I'm around, I go see him, or any other facilitators. Why? Because every time I go to do more of that stuff, more consciousness, it contributes to me. Even though it may be a little bit uncomfortable to pay some of the classes, though the funny thing is, you kind of have to get this. The more you spend, and that's going to contribute to you and someone else. Like when Dr. Dane here is contributing to others, unlocking their capacities and becoming more happier, it contributes to you and him. It's a simultaneously, back and forth. So by you coming to my classes, by you coming to Dr. Dane here's classes, it contributes to you more. You receive more money. That's how it works. First up, I was uncomfortable. I'm like, nah, it's a bit expensive. I don't want to go to Dr. Dane's classes. But when I got the energy to pay for some of his classes, even though I didn't have much money back then, I just borrowed money and I went. And because I did that, my life started changing. If I didn't do that at the start, if I didn't force myself to do more access, there would be no Guitar of Consciousness. There would be no me filming today. So by me, the uncomfortable came up to pay for his classes. I went around that again, because I watched his videos before. So I knew a little bit of stuff around access. So I went around that. I asked more questions. I asked more questions around that. So I went to his classes. And after, that's when my life was like, whoa. Thank you, Dr. Dane here, for showing me these phenomenal tools and questions to change my life. Thank you. And that's what I can do for you too. So if a class comes up and one of my online Zoom calls and it's a bit uncomfortable to pay, the uncomfortableness is there to pretty much fuck with you. Blunt, honestly, it's there to fuck with you. If you purchase that call, come and see me, I'm going to contribute to you fucking phenomenally, the way Dr. Dane here contributed to me. So if you like to me contribute to you as much as I can, I'll do that. As long as you come onto the call and come to my Zooms, and that can start showing up. So that's my invitation to you, my friend. And yeah, just keep going, keep going. The uncomfortableness, that'll go away once you start choosing beyond it. Let's ask a question. Let's do another process. So the process: what energy, space, consciousness, choice can I and my body be to have total clarity and ease with all of this. And everything that doesn't allow that to show up will now destroy and uncreate it all. Yes, right, wrong, good, bad, pot and pock, ordinary, shorts, boys and beyonds. You can ask that whenever you're about to pay for one of my classes or one of your, anything. You can ask that for anything. Job interview, go walk into the shops, you know, anything, patting your dog. You can ask that. What energy, space, consciousness, choice can I and my body be to have total clarity and ease with all of this now and for the future? And everything that doesn't allow that to show up, destroy and uncreate it all. Yes, right, wrong, good, bad, pot, pock, ordinary, shorts, boys and beyonds. And that's a clearing statement of access. I've spoken that in previous Guitar of Conscious videos. More information, just Google access consciousness / clearing statement. And there. So these processes, they bring up the energies of where you were limiting yourself. Where were fucking you with yourself. They bring up the energies of that in front of you and dissipates it, clears it, so you don't have to function from that. And that's a little bit, it brings up the energies, and that's what we get into on these online events of mine. We get into that stuff, you know. I can't answer your questions on my Guitar of Conscious tour. You come in on a Zoom call, I can answer your questions, and that's when we can create. I can show you how you can have your capacities awakened. So that's what I did for me. Every process I ran from access, I just felt I got more clearer. I had a more awareness on that situation. I stopped going to that compression, to that blockages, to that confrontation. I stopped doing that when I started doing clearings of access, because they bring up the energies, so they're not behind us. We're all locking stuff behind us, and we don't know, we can't see it, it's back here. So what's going on here? This brings it out in front of us, so we can clear it. We can clear it and allow us to go around. Not having to get stuck with that. Before access, I was fighting all the time. Fighting here, fighting there, fighting there, fighting here, fighting here. And I just go, I'm like, tired of this, I'm tired of this shit. You know, there has to be something different. And just thank access for showing up in my life. So that's my invitation to you. I think we'll let it go there. And yeah, just choose the greatness of you, my friend. Choose the greatness of you, and it'll start showing up. You know, don't worry about that uncomfortableness, discomfort. That's just there to limit you. Go beyond that. Watch some of my YouTube videos. You can watch Dr. Dane Here's YouTube videos. I'll put links in the description. And yeah, go on my Guitar of Conscious website. And yeah, you can also subscribe to my mailing list on my Guitar of Conscious website, just to get new stuff coming in. I got podcasts now. I just did my second podcast today. Yeah, I filmed that in the morning. So my second podcast will be out in maybe a few days. It just depends how long it takes. They take a while to upload for some reason. I'm not sure. So they might take a few days. But on Spotify, it comes up on Spotify pretty much in a few hours. That's what happened when I put my first one up. So subscribe to my mailing list. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And like this video. Show your friends. Show it to any of your friends that maybe they desire something different. You know? Allow this to be this invitation. I'm sending this invitation to you. And what invitation can this be to your friends? Knowing that there is a different possibility out there. All right, my friends. I love you all. And what gift can we be to each other?